So we're traveling right now, yeah? So here's the map of the Sword Coast. A quick reminder for everybody. There's Waterdeep, which is where we spent our last several games. Oop, wrong button. Up to the north, we have Mirabar way up here. This is where the Forge of Fury was. This is where the Sunless Citadel was. However, I believe where we last left off, you were making your way north along the Long Road.
Mm-hmm.
On your way toward Tribor, where Victoire has a potential job waiting, and where everyone else is going to head up probably further so that they can make their way to Casa de Hyacinth, which is just to the northwest of Silvery Moon. Did I get all that right? It's been a while.
Yep. Sounds right.
I believe so.
Okay. So you're making your way north. I believe you met with Victoire around a little bit after noon, because I remember Creetha specifically recommending lunch. So you've got a whole, like a half a day of travel. Is there any interaction or conversation that you want to have, or should we jump right to the random encounters?
I mean, go ahead.
Jeff?
I think that Calder would definitely want to. Calder is many, many things, but I think the most underappreciated part of his personality is he is a nerd. So he will be asking all of the questions that he feels he can manage to about this artificer and how their magic works. Like on a purely academic level, because he wants to understand it.
It's not magic, it's science.
Okay, cool. Explain that to me.
How does Victoire respond to these rather incessant questions?
Awkwardly.
Oh, it's just there's a gas thing there, and you turn it, and it makes a flame.
Fascinating.
I've never heard the word science before. What an interesting word. Science.
To be clear, I said that out of game.
It came to us on the wind.
Sorry, I have the chat open right now, which means that I'm getting everything like visually, like about 30 seconds behind. So like, and because I need the text to be able to hear right now, I'm a bit behind.
Fair enough.
Give me a sec.
I've had some issues with my my lag time, like the time between when I record and when it actually like pops up on people's screens. It's been a weird kind of back and forth. Sometimes it's a couple of minutes, sometimes it's only a few seconds. I don't know what's up. Let's talk a little bit about Creetha. Creetha is traveling in this, not really a caravan, but like a little mini group. How is she handling this wandering the open road?
You know, she doesn't mind it at all, I think. I think it's more compelling to her because she's in a group that, for the most part, these are people that she very much considers friends and trusts. So it's definitely a different sensation than usual. So, you know, because her first time making what is approximately this trip, which is north, she did it on, you know, with a group of goblins that she knew only peripherally, and that by the reason she was there, they could not technically trust her and she couldn't technically trust them, and so she couldn't really get close to them.
It's kind of the whole everyone's gonna tell on everyone else kind of situation.
Yeah, it definitely was, you know, a little bit toxic.
A little bit. So this is a more relaxing trip for her?
Oh yeah. because if you think about it, she was just along for the ride. This isn't really her quest. To be honest, this in many ways could be considered procrastinating.
That's
Because
fair.
she doesn't really want to go back south. And
she's doing good while she's at it.
yeah, so she's got that taste of freedom outside of her father's thumb, even though his thumb was being pressed on her mainly in secret. It was still very heavy of a load, and yeah, and it still does weigh on her quite a bit. There's definitely a fair amount of worry in the back of her mind that she is just 100% suppressing, that he's going to send somebody after her, because he, with her going to Waterdeep and stuff, like she's getting famous, so word's gonna eventually trickle down.
There are stinky plushies out now.
Yeah, there's stinky plushies out now. So word's gonna trickle down, and he's gonna go from assuming that she died with the rest of them to not knowing if she killed them, why she has not come home, that he's angry that she has not come home, that she is possibly selling the information to other people, to, he does not know what's going on. And that's a dangerous place to be in, to be basically a spy who has started to not even, I would say, work the other side, although I would, now thinking about it, argue that going with Jarlaxle, in the Burgundy Arth might constitute that, but a side at least. She's definitely absconded with herself and the information that she was supposed to get.
So Calder is asking incessant questions. Victoire is responding awkwardly. Kretha is just enjoying the sunshine. What is Echo up to during this next leg of the journey?
So I think Echo is one of those very annoying travel companions, but in a charming way. He does things like, when he notices that like Kretha maybe is getting a little up into her head, will be like, "Hey, bet you I can do 50 cartwheels in a row," and just starts fucking doing it. And like, we'll start doing inane things like, asking, if he notices that Calder's getting a little too much into Victoire's space, be like, "Hey, I've never been to Tribor before. What is Tribor like? Is there anything good there? Like, is there anything important there?" Like, just start, kind of filtering from person to person within the group.
And when Calder will eventually ask all the questions that he can feel he'll get out of Victoire, and will back off and turn more into taciturn self. But that'll be at least a day.
Back to the emo. Yes.
He is
acrobatic
not,
check to see if Echo can do 50.
He is nothing if not a gently arranged web of personality traits that would crumble under the slightest bit of stress.
I mean, I would feel like the closer you get to what is going to be a really rough time,
okay,
the worse it's going to get. I do feel like that's going to be an issue for. I feel like that's going to be Calder's going to be like freaking out emotionally, and Echo's going to be freaking out because Echo is putting off those emotions in an attempt to be like, "Can I do this? Can I actually use this thing? I'm terrified that this power is in my hands and I'm going to try and use it, and if I fuck it up, it's going to be my fault." So we've got two people who are just freaking out, and then you've got, Kretha, who would not think of those things, and you've got Vic, who is new to this party and would not really even know what's going on, so would not think of these things, and probably wouldn't think of those things even if she did know, because it's kind of those kind of emotions are things that you think about when you know someone. I don't know.
Does anyone else have anything else they would like to do before we roll for our first? And here's a thing we don't do very often in this campaign:
Pardon me, I
random
yelled.
encounter. Does anyone have anything else they want to do first?
I
I'm
mean,
down for random encounter.
I rolled to see if Echo could do the cartwheels, and I got a nat 1, so he can't.
I missed that. Hold on. So talk to me about that. There's that one. I mean, you still rolled an 8, which is better than like a lot of like basic actions are only DC 5, but it is a 1. And if you want to roll it that way, what is the consequence of that?
I think that whatever this random encounter is going to be, he's going to be not aware of it because he's busy eating shit off, like like he was rolling straight with the cartwheels, and then about at number 21, he hit a rock and fell into the ditch.
Perfect. Amazing. Love it. Okay. Since you're the one who is eating shit right now, why don't you go ahead and roll me a percentile dice, Gale, and we will see what happens.
How do you do percentile on?
Roll me
2d10.
Oh, that's a good point though, because
Which is all right. Here's
Yep.
the tens.
okay, yeah. So
Here's the
5
ones.
You could
55.
also probably do / roll D100.
Probably. Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, one moment. So you're heading north along the road, and let's say you
Gonna share the map
spy-
with the rest of the class?
I will in a moment. I need to make sure I know what I'm doing first. I'm winging this, obviously. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. Okay.
And I missed
This is gonna be amazing. So, off to the side, you hear, with your passive perception, you hear heavy footsteps. Boom, boom, and you hear something snap. You can't tell if it's wood or bones, but you hear something snap. Go ahead and give me a active perception check now that I assume you're paying attention. Except for Echo, who does not know what the hell's going on.
No. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so active perception, you said, right?
Correct.
Okie dokie.
Incidentally, I did figure out how to do percentile.
Oh, nice.
Is it the
Well,
that I'm
You
assuming?
right, if you right click the D10, it'll bring you an option.
Oh, interesting.
when you shared the map, it was exactly when I was trying to grab the die, and so instead of pulling the die over, the map came over, and I'm like, well done. That was good timing.
General
Good timing.
generals the map.
I rolls the map. I do. I wonder how that works, you know.
So, because this is a random map, I will say that the road, and I believe I've shared it at this point. The road is immediately to the west of you, off the map. So you're kind of off the road at the moment. Echo, Kretha, Calder. Wait, we need to get everybody in here.
You know, there's Stinky.
There's Stinky, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
get both.
I think Stinky is going to be
Victoire.
next to Echo, because Stinky is also interested in Echo's food because he rolled a 4. Well, he rolled a 6, but yeah. I'm saying he didn't do well.
Okay, do I have everyone's characters down? I've got Victoire, Calder, Echo, Kretha, Lou, and Stinky. Excellent. Okay. So there's a noise that you hear off to the east. And you don't have to stray far from the path, because from that, you see that large bush directly above you? You hear a crunching, like a crunch, 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 crunch. And then, exploding out of the bush is a goddamn dinosaur.
What?
Oh my God. How did it get over here?
Now,
little far from
dinosaurs
Chult.
dinosaurs are not unknown in the greater grasslands, but they're not like common. Like they're not like this isn't Chult, right? Chult, they're all over the place, but here they're uncommon. The thing has blood all over its face from whatever it just finished eating, and currently seems to be in kind of a feeding frenzy. I hope it isn't an herbivore. Let me check it really quick.
Ankylosaurus is definitely an herbivore, I'm sorry to say.
Damn, it's got leaves all over its face. And is
Well, the
currently
twig blight-
no, I'm pivoting. I'm pivoting. Thank you for that information. It's got leaves all over its face, but it does seem extremely hostile for some reason. I'm gonna go ahead and share a image of it. Tell me that's not a carnivore.
Should we be rolling initiative?
Yes, you should be rolling initiative.
Is
Look at
that
that
an
face.
Ankylosaur? That's not an ankylosaur. That's
Oh no,
an,
that's just dinosaurs.
Allo-
Okay.
That's an
Allosaurus.
That's my
Yeah.
problem is that the image that they give is of a completely different dinosaur. That's why I thought it was a carnivore. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, it's hopped up on leaves, but there's some other you can tell immediately that it's intensely hostile and you don't know necessarily why.
The leaves were psychotropic.
I might make that canon now that you've said it. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and roll for all the NPCs, although I have decided, I think, that I'm going to go ahead and let pets go on your initiative. So I'm going to roll NPC initiatives, but I'm going to change the initiative. Victoire, did you roll initiative?
I have not yet rolled initiative. Like I said, I'm a little bit behind.
Totally. Kreetha, I don't see initiative for you either.
I did Kreetha. No, I did passive, not initiative. I got so distracted by the "is this a carnivore" that I just missed initiative apparently.
Awesome. So the way I'm going to do this is like with mounts, I'm just going to go ahead and have your companion go on the same initiative as you, and you as a player get to decide exactly who goes first. Or what order you do things in. I'm even okay with you mixing your actions up. I'm totally fine with it because you're in lockstep with your pets. Okay. So Calder, it looks like, has first initiative. You see a very, very large and very hostile, but well, I mean, how much does Calder know about dinosaurs?
We've established that Calder is a bit of a dino nerd.
Fair enough. So he probably knows that it's a generally a leaf eater. What do you do?
Calder will pull a Jurassic Park and sort of like wander up to it because he's a nerd.
Okay.
Wander up to it. Yeah, obviously you're not.
And when it as he's no doubt gotten its attention by this point.
Oh yeah, probably.
He's just going to it's okay, and he'll reach down and I'm going to cast my shiny new spell.
Which one?
I think you know. I'm going to spend 3 spell points to make this to heighten the effect, so it makes the save at disadvantage.
Okay, go ahead and force that save.
I don't know why I did that. Okay.
Okay, one more time because it's a disadvantage. And okay, so what are you polymorphing it into?
I'm polymorphing it into a frog.
So there was this giant fuck all dinosaur right there.
Did that actually happen?
Immediately, Calder, describe for me what that spell looks like when you, because you've never cast this one before. Tell me what this looks like.
He'll reach down and very gently reach out and tap its own its shadow, and it will suddenly start to seize as its body just warps and changes as a dark shadow wraps around it, and when the shadow the shadow transforms into that of a frog, and so does the rest of it.
Oh my god!
I love it. So now we
How big of
have.
a frog?
Hold on.
Like a little frog. Like
We're
a
just gonna
tiny frog?
no. There it is.
Oh my god!
It is a frog has a swim speed and a walk speed, but critically, per its stat block, has no attack actions.
Oh my god.
So
I mean,
it's
anything can make an unarmed attack.
its turn now. Oh wait, hold on. Do you have anything else? You moved, you cast. Is there anything else you're doing before it's the frog's turn?
I'll turn. It's like, I don't think we need to hurt it. It's just a little crazed. It probably ate something. It didn't agree with it. I think we can just go.
Let's go ahead and pull up polymorph really quick. I like
The polymorph spell lasts for an hour.
it's an hour. I love it. You could literally
I think
pick it
it's
up.
either an hour or 10 minutes.
It's an hour. You're right.
It's an hour. Okay, yes. It is a frog for an hour.
Unless something hurts it.
So it's its turn. It like looks up. How intelligent are these things generally? Hold on.
It's now got the intelligence of a frog.
It already had the intelligence of a frog. So
I mean, not
It has
very.
no
It's
thunder
gonna-
attack. It can breathe air. It can
It
breathe air
may
and
try
water.
to
Its long jump
attack.
is 10 feet. Its high jump is 5
Yep,
feet.
yep.
it's
It
gonna
can
yeah,
make
it's
that run
gonna it's
hard.
gonna jump. And it's gonna jump
I'm in
again.
love.
So it's a dash, yes? So it's gonna
I'm in
jump
love.
once. It's gonna jump again and ricochet off of Calder's chest and onto the ground. Boing, thwack, drop. I don't know what I expected this encounter to be. This is not it. So technically it's Kreetha's turn. What's Kreetha up to right now?
Oh, I wish we could have done that. Oh my god. I'm going right up to the frog.
Don't hurt it. Just leave it alone. We can just leave it here, and it will eventually turn back into itself.
Kreetha, now
It
that
will
you're a
be
little
far
bit
away by
closer,
You say that to me like I would ever injure a frog.
Kreetha, give me a perception check, please.
That is an insult. Yes.
Take
perception check.
disadvantage because you're enthralled by the frog.
I am 100% enthralled by the frog. All right. Insight?
No, perception.
No. Perception.
With
All right,
disadvantage.
So, okay. And
Ah, yes. Polymorph. Source of. and
that's not.
solution to
That's
dimensional
advantage.
problems.
Not. Is that disadvantage? Maybe? Let's
DIS is
find out.
disadvantage. Yeah, let's find out.
I'm like, did I click on disadvantage?
No,
I
you-
did not.
You just
Somehow
rolled
I wound
2d20.
up doing-
But you rolled a 14, and I know
A
your
14.
perception is... Let me take a look at your perception. Your perception is +6. Yeah, okay, so don't worry about it, even with disadvantage. So you hear some higher pitched sounds emanating from in the bushes. And as you're looking at this
No.
frog, you realize there are broken shells within this large sort of bush tree. And now that you're looking, there are little tiny footsteps sort of going back and forth.
Yeah. Oh no.
And you realize
Okay.
two things immediately. First off, your emotional mind goes, oh my God, they're babies. Then the rational part of your mind knows that people in Chult really pay top dollar for baby dinosaurs so that they can be trained. And this realm that you just found yourself in is far more wealthy than anything Chult has to offer. So the horrible, chaotic part of your mind says that to you as well.
Yeah, it does. Oh.
I'm going to go ahead
So-
and go through the initiative count just for reactions. Now that you're
Yes.
there, what's your immediate reaction?
Well, I mean, the first thing I'm doing is picking up the frog.
Okay. Ribbit, it's kind of struggling against your arms.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it does
Yeah.
it does not want to be held.
No, and it's probably a little slippery. That's all right. I shove it in my shirt.
We should release it in the pond over there. When the spell wears off. it
You
will
don't
return to its
understand.
normal
I'm not keeping it's no. Hold on.
Okay.
They're babies.
What's Stinky up to?
Stinky is following. Stinky is like, quack.
Okay, he's not gonna try to eat the little frog.
No, but she also shoved it down her shirt, and Stinky
Fair.
knows things that are not edible that go down her shirt.
Echo, you just saw a giant fuck all dinosaur get turned into a tiny frog and then shoved down the blouse of a
I would
of a goblin.
I would argue he didn't see it. He's just now sitting up and like wiping dirt off of his face and being like, "What was that sound? What's happening? What?"
Give me a new perception check. Take disadvantage.
Echo, oblivious short king.
Oh yeah, this is with actual advantage and disadvantage. So I'm just gonna go ahead and
It's fine.
no, we'll do the advantage next time. Thank you, Michaelia.
Yeah.
So Echo, you sit up, and all you can see for the moment is the large tuft of grass that just got embedded in your brow ridge. You're pulling it off like it was mud.
Ugh. If it gets in the piercing, this is bad. So he's just,
Oh, that probably hurts.
he's just sitting there like, well, there was a big noise, but I don't see anything important, so I'm just gonna sit here.
How does Victoire and Lou respond to this course of events?
Well, in the last 3 seconds, a thing showed up and then it's gone. Very just like, yep.
That's
par for the course.
They haven't been with us long, but they know us so well already.
Well, it's also like, what's the point of freaking out? Nobody else is freaking out.
Well, no, but I guess the question is would you have the perception to see the babies? And would
Probably
Lou try
not.
and go over there?
I don't hunt children.
That's fair.
I just don't know how much dog is like Lou does Lou do.
He doesn't smell things.
Does
He's a mechanical animal.
It means we're dealing with an irate mother and not
animal.
not a doped up.
Not a rabbit.
Yes.
Wait, mother of what? What are we talking about? Echo will walk over. Are we out of initiative?
Does Victoire have? Hold on. Does Victoire have any experience with this kind of magic?
No.
Fair enough. Because I like shapeshifters are a thing that Victoire has dealt with. This is more than your standard werewolf, though.
Yeah. Yes, but.
Oop, are we gonna see Lou?
No. A polymorph spell requires verbal, somatic, and material components.
True. So you definitely saw the spell being cast and recognized it was happening.
Yeah. So the fact that it's like, she's looking at it like, yeah, okay. Calder got up and did his hand wavy things, and yeah, wizards exist.
Yeah, they do.
But she doesn't have experience with it means she does not know how to cast things like that.
And Lou is just chilling by your side?
Lou is dragging the cart.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right.
Lou is my pack horse because horses don't like me.
So now that we're
yeah,
that's fair. That's entirely fair. At the end of the initiative, yeah, we'll go ahead and drop out of initiative.
Okay.
Let's talk about what happens next.
Kretha comes over very carefully in her hunter mode. She's stinky stay. And she goes up. How many babies are there that I can see?
You already had a really great perception check. Go ahead and roll me 2d6, please. Don't roll too high, please. You see 5 of them.
It's a clutch of 5, so it's probably 5 living and then several bad eggs. So maybe this was a first-time mother, or there was a problem where there was a lot of slugs.
You do, in fact, see 1 egg that is currently moving. But yes, there are eggs
still actively hatching.
There are eggs that are inert.
Yeah.
But you do see 1 egg that is actively hatching, like as you're watching.
Yeah. So this was not a plant enraged animal. This was a mother defending her eggs, and that's basically what. So, and she kind of reaches down and like picks up the egg and goes, "This was a mother defending her nest. There are babies here.
There's babies." Echo comes over.
Be careful.
Be very careful. Their mother. We need to be I reiterate my statement. We need to make sure the mother is placed a little far away so that when the spell wears off, it doesn't hurt itself or any of the children.
Well, my thinking is this. Well, there's two thoughts, but one of them is not really very ethical. Yeah. So, to tell you the bad part first, this is worth a lot of money. And part of me thinks this is worth a lot of money. And then the rest of me, the part of me that's a ranger, knows that this is worth a lot of everything else. How do you have to touch? Do you have to touch the mother to release the spell?
I do not. I can release it.
All right. Then what I want you all to do is I will pass without trace. I will put the frog down only after, when you're ready to change the spell, I will put frog down, because right now I don't know whether frog is going to get injured, but I will put frog down. I will be as cloaked as I can be, and from far away, you do the spell, and then I will come to you.
I'm going to go ahead and ask for a nature check from anyone who's trained in it. Kretha, I don't know if you're trained in it or not, but you can take the roll with advantage because of Chult, and it's a dinosaur.
Yeah, I'm not trained in it, but that's fine.
And someone else can take advantage because Mikalia went ahead and gave us advantage.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I can see
19.
as you're saying all this, be like, so if that's mom, is there possibly a dad around here somewhere?
That's one of the reasons why I've said 3 times now we should just leave it and move on.
I am not leaving the frog to get killed.
That is not a word.
This is very dangerous to this animal.
It is much more dangerous to whoever tries to kill the frog.
Was anyone other than Kretha going to roll a nature just before Awesome.
I'm not trying to.
Just checking. We still have that lingering advantage. So, Kretha,
If the frog is damaged, and it will revert to its natural state.
Kretha,
that will be very bad for, say, your average errant hawk.
You suspect, to put one more philosophical foible into this, you suspect that this particular species in this particular area is invasive. This is not where these dinosaurs belong.
Are supposed to be.
Something weird happened to bring this dinosaur to this place.
Something weird happened. Okay, so that's my nature. So I'm starting to kind of look around, and I'm thinking, as I look at one of the babies, I have a better look at the species. To be honest, I don't know why they're here to begin with. They should not be here.
Yeah, these are the weirdest lizards I've ever seen.
Bad.
Also, the cutest.
They're kind of slimy right now with all this egg gunk on them.
I have to appreciate them when they're this big, because that does not last.
They should not be here. I need to.
The trouble is that we don't have the time. We are on a mission with some time attached to it.
You are on a mission.
Yes.
Calder. You are my friend, but you are on a mission. You have to get up there.
Do you know where to take these things? Do you know where do you know where you must go? Do you have any idea of how you are going to corral the thing once the spell wears off?
I have to think of these things. I have
to
figure this out. I can't leave them here. If this is not where they're supposed to be, they should not stay here. It puts them in danger. It puts the people who live here in danger.
Yeah, but maybe they're here because something happened to where they're supposed to be. I mean, I've heard of like floods or storms chasing animals out of their normal habitats, right?
That doesn't change the problem.
The most likely scenario is that it's it's an escaped pet. Somebody imported a creature that it didn't know how to contain, and either it got loose or they let it loose once it got too big.
There would have to be 2 of them.
Yes.
Are there
And-
signs of being another adult around here?
Good question. Are there?
Um,
Do you want me to roll another?
I'm gonna say no, you don't have to, and no, you don't see any evidence of another adult dinosaur in the area.
I can't leave
Which means
them here.
it is without knowledge of where they came from or the
Calder,
ability to take them back
I
home. we
appreciate
can't.
your opinion here, but you are not the ranger. You know nothing.
No, I am the
this.
one stopping it from being an angry, irate mother at us.
It squirms a little bit, trying to get out and hop away, but it's not able to.
We are on a very limited clock to be reasonable about this. Once the spell wears off, it will be a violent mother trying to protect its young.
Maybe we should just, put a sign back on the road where I totally on purpose fell into the ditch and say like, hey, don't go in this direction, dangerous animal. So other
I
people
cast
don't
Beast Sense.
fall in the ditch.
Totally. Remind me. Let's.
You touch a
And of course
willing
our-
beast, although I don't know if it counts as willing, but I mean, I'll let you decide that.
Let me look up the spell. You called it Beast Sense?
You touch a willing beast for the duration of the spell. You can use your action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and continue to do so until you use your action to return to normal senses.
That's just writing in beast senses.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
but that gives me an idea of what's going on in its head.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
No, on
that
that one.
no, I actually am gonna let it happen. I like it.
Better.
I like
Yeah.
it. It won't
I don't
let
have
you
a better one,
it
unfortunately.
won't let you read its mind. But for the
No.
next little bit, you'll at least be able to keep track of it while you are continuing to move north.
Mm-hmm.
And you are able to flag this spot, and maybe next session we'll talk a little bit about what we do with this.
This very much bothers Kretha, I will say. This
can I get a
is part
history check
of
for-
Kretha's ranger thinking.
Totally.
And she, out of everyone, has more experience with this kind of thing than anybody else here, even the dino nerd.
Yeah, absolutely. However, it is still an angry mother protecting its young, and it's only by virtue of magic that it's not being violent right now. That will change the moment it gets a chance.
Besides, this might not be in need of an immediate solution. It was obviously here long enough to lay these eggs and germinate them. So it's probably pretty safe here for it.
Is there any way I could get like a history check or some similar check of like what is the noble that is nearest here, or what?
Yeah, that sounds like a history check to me. Yeah, totally.
Yes, let's go tell the noble who's probably going to grab it and sell it.
Well, I'm more thinking like the nobles.
Oh, I know what
more
you're
likely to support
thinking.
this thing.
I just know that's what she's gonna think.
Yeah, you know that there is these lands aren't actually claimed by any particular noble, but there are a few families that run holdings in a couple of different directions. You could think of the I'm making these names up. The Mayweathers have a plantation semi nearby that you could probably talk to.
Actually, why did that not show up on my spell list? I should. Well, no, because I don't have third level spell. Never mind. I got confused.
Not yet. You'll get there.
I'm so close to having speak with animals, and then we could deal with it.
And the Gorsch family, Gorsch, the Gorsch family has a mine in the nearby hills that you might be able to they're fairly nearby as well, but nobody actually claims these particular lands.
I could think of a couple of scenarios. Perhaps the Gorsh. I will tell them about the Gorsh holdings of the mine. They probably could have taken this creature in as a beast of burden, or it was a creature of vanity being held by the estates north of here.
Abandoned pets.
These are
always a problem.
And these are unclaimed territories, so it's possible that it wandered here into a place where they couldn't follow.
I would like to gently move us on, but
Yeah.
I'm totally down to revisit this And
Yeah, I
I'm
Kreetha, you
still
do
going
have.
to have them do what I was planning on doing originally because I'm
Which
not
was?
going to leave this animal as a frog.
No.
Oh yes, of
like,
course. Yes.
So you
No, no.
guys are going to leave, and I will meet up with you out of distance.
Yes.
Like
And
after
I
we're like
will do pass without trace.
I love the way
Once
this
we're,
scene
like, a
is
ver-
going.
after we're like well out of eyesight of the thing.
Smell sight. Really, you want to get way out of there, and then I will put the frog down near the nest and do cast pass without a trace, and then I will send an animal messenger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 spells. So it's pass without trace because I'm not going to do beast sense. Nix that.
Okay.
Pass without trace and animal messenger. So that's 2 spells. I just got to mark those off.
Who are you sending a message to?
I will be sending a message to Calder to take the spell down, so he knows exactly when. So he's not doing it at the wrong time.
What animal do you use to deliver this message?
I use a sparrow.
Okay.
Echo,
and-
before heading off, to get the distance, will tap Kreetha on the back and give her the Trickster's Blessing, so you have stealth at advantage. And be like, I trust you. You know what you're doing about these weird lizards. See you in a bit.
Calder will nod his head and will yep, bowing to the Ranger's wisdom, backing away. And once it gets the message to Sarah, he'll wait 1, 2, 3.
Just because it's funny, Kreetha, go ahead and roll that advantage and +10 stealth check just to see.
Right.
With the +5.
+5, yeah.
So an advantage plus
15. Yeah, I just got to know. Is this going to be the highest roll we've ever had yet?
Okay,
We've had a 30.
So,
Nat 1.
because I've got pass without a trace, gives me a +10 bonus.
We'll
to my
add that. We'll add that in
dexterity.
post, as it were.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll with
so
advantage, and we get +15 to this roll. This is going to be
+15
ridiculous.
to this roll. All right. So advantage. So
Again,
34 plus 15.
Yay!
You have to hit
So
advantage
40.
before you pick up the die.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just.
I did. It rolled it. See, a 13 and a 12.
It rolled 2d20.
Unfortunately- Well, it rolled 2d20. It didn't actually roll it as a check.
But
It didn't roll it as a check. Okay. Well, let me redo that then. I
yeah,
guess.
let's
I don't know
just
why-
try it.
Yeah, I don't know why it's being a dick, but that's fine.
Yeah, you don't have to
it's-
right click once you've picked up the die. Hit
wait,
advantage.
that's sleight of hand.
hit the
I
die.
need-
Click advantage. Click the die. Roll it.
There was indeed a natural 1, but
Yeah.
with the +15, that's a 38. You are the stealthiest goblin that has ever existed in all of history.
Yeah. By the way, Stinky went with you guys.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're easily able to make sure that you stealth your way out and
Mhm.
get the spell dispelled. Everything is fine for the moment. They live in this thicket of tree stars, and yes, I made that reference after making the Secret of Nim reference last game.
Mhm.
We're just working our way through.
It's
all
working
that.
our way through all of the traumatic 90s cartoons. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Except for Ngully.
continuing north, yes. I think we've got time for one more roll of the dice for random encounter before we get to Tribor, and I believe Victoire is probably going to be making a different path. Let's go ahead and roll.
Definitely mark on that on the main map where
you are?
the dynasty. Yes.
Totally.
Worth
Will
it.
Because
do.
that has definitely added to that is something that Kreetha has to deal with. Like that is something that morally, if she doesn't do
Ooh, wrong one.
this, I would argue she would have to take a point against her alignment.
Okay.
As a ranger, as somebody who cares for things, as someone who understands the flora and fauna and understands, that they're not really supposed to be there and that's not really a safe place. And
No, it's again, agree with all of that.
oh,
All right.
I know,
I put a little
but
X.
I'm just saying, Kreetha was about to have like toss hands for a moment.
Yeah, I get that, and it's like I agree with everything
You've
Laura
never
said.
heard her
It's
yell
still-
before, have you?
It is however, it will be an angry mom at us if we don't leave.
Okay, I marked an X on the map. I'll go ahead and show that now. There's a very large X. I'll fix it later. That's roughly the place where you're at right now. You're about let's see, 2/3 of the way between Amphail and Tribor.
Sure.
Can I say that Echo took a piece of eggshell?
Yes,
So that
100%.
is something that needs to be addressed for Kretha before it starts getting cool, because they're from a more southern range, and I don't know how well they're going to be able to adapt.
And actually, yeah, okay, so let me go ahead and get really fast. Who do I want to do this? I'm just going to go ahead and roll randomly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I like having people roll random encounters. It is Gale again. Go ahead and roll me one more D%. Right click, I think, the D10. Yeah.
Ooh.
4. Okay.
Wow.
I have no idea. Let's take a look.
Single-digit percentile. Those are rare.
Wait.
Getting back on the road, Echo just tells Barnabas, "Ah, with some weird lizards, we're good."
Kretha's just kind of comes up out of stealth, freaks you guys out because she just comes up out of stealth, and is just kind of stewing. Is obviously both very angry and very worried.
Okay, so the thing I got is non-specific, so I'm gonna go ahead and make something up really fast. You find a campsite. Okay? You find a campsite. It's off the trail. The campfire is not smoldering or anything, but I'm gonna need a perception check if anybody wants to like check around it. There's a campsite off to the side, and your first thought is looking at it. It's a very messy campsite. It wasn't particularly well struck. This might not. It doesn't look like your standard like military campsite.
This is investigation or perception?
I will accept either. So if you want to do investigation, you are welcome to do
Taking
so.
investigation. I'm gonna go get down and go bother it.
Ooh. Okay. So
Use that intelligence that the rest of us don't have.
bottom up, Echo. You think this was probably a goblin camp?
Oh.
You see gnawed bones. You see like not a big care for cleanup. And that's not universal amongst goblins, but the detritus that they left strikes you as uniquely goblin.
There's like a half footprint that looks pretty goblinoid.
Calder and Kretha, you notice that there were probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 of them. And that they were in this spot for a short period of time, but left at least several days ago. 3 to 5 to 7, it's hard to tell exactly. It's rained in the interim.
Camp. Yeah.
Victoire, as you're poking around the camp, you actually find like a bit of bent metal sort of partially buried in the ground.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it was left there deliberately. It looks like it was just kind of dropped. And you pull it out and you dust it off, I imagine. There is it's a brooch with a sigil of some sort that you don't recognize.
Okay, I smell it.
It smells mostly like dirt and metal, but go ahead and give me a perception check specifically.
Okay.
Dirt and metal and leather. Like this was attached to something, but it got torn off somehow.
Blood?
No blood.
Okay. I'll toss it to Calder.
I'll catch it. Blink at it.
And then I do the like let's circle up and keep going motion with my hand.
So, as this object flies through the air, Kreetha, you catch a glimpse of it as it's making its way to Calder's hand, and your heart stops for a moment. You know that sigil. In fact, you have it on your person somewhere.
Oh.
Would it happen to be on a ring?
Uh-huh.
So, like, you literally see Kreetha go from, like, angry, worried to, like, pale in a heartbeat. She's gonna come up to Calder and kind of not snatch it, but definitely kind of yank it out of his hand in a not rude, but, like, scared manner.
Well,
Kreetha, you
Calder
okay?
has seen Kreetha's ring before, right?
I showed it
showed
to
it to
him
them.
once. God only knows if anybody really remembers the crest on it. So, I mean, I showed everybody the night that everybody got drunk.
Yeah, fair enough. So, I don't know, intelligence check to remember it, or what?
No, I'll let you decide what you remember. That's fine.
What do you remember? Because I didn't have it out for very long. I just kind of briefly showed you that I
You know
also
what,
had a ring.
I'm of mind to leave that to an intelligence check to see what I remember.
Then roll it.
'Cause I was
No, you do
I
not
was-
That
remember.
was
you were
hold
too
on.
drunk.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in on that table really quick. That was a 2.
Mhm.
So yeah, you have no idea what the hell you're looking at.
I'll but if Kreetha takes, I'll like, do you recognize it?
Kreetha shoves it into her back and says no. No, it just seemed familiar.
I am not gonna require an insight check on this.
No, I mean, she's not good at this kind of deception. I could roll deception, but I think if I roll it, I would need to roll it at a disadvantage.
I think at this point I think a roll is
Like,
superfluous at this point. Although apparently Victoire does not notice anything.
Yeah, she doesn't know it all.
Calder will just look at Kreetha and go, "Are we in danger?"
We are not.
Are you in danger?
No. No more than usual.
Ooh, good
We should
answer.
probably go.
We should go then.
You have
This is
a
not
thing
this is not a
you're
mili-
doing.
This is not a military camp. I
No.
don't think it has anything to do with the orcish excursion from the north.
Definitely not.
Some sort of roving band. We should just move on.
For the rest of the leg of the journey, Echo is going to be sticking by Kreetha's side.
Gonna be very upset. Hey.
Just like whatever side of the wagon and whatever her and Stinky are on, Echo is also on that side. Like, not like hip to hip, but is staying in the same vicinity.
Calder is like subtly like clinging to his weapon of warning and is perhaps clinging a little closer to keep everyone centered on it.
Yeah, make sure everyone's within 30 feet.
Yeah, because the only person who was there would have been Calder, and he's too drunk to remember that sigil.
I don't remember the sigil. I can just see that my friend is visibly upset.
Yeah.
So
Well, she was visibly upset before that. Now she's just visibly upset in a completely different way.
yeah, but I agree with the way Kreetha is upset with wanting to protect the animals. But my friend coming back to life is just higher on my priority stack than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
Once
she's
that-
going to use that.
Once that's cleared, I'll be happy to deal with dinosaurs.
Do we have to camp for the night before reaching Tribor, or do we get there this evening?
I'm gonna say yes. I mean, this is a multi-day trip because of the amount of distance
Cool. I get my
involved.
spell slots back.
So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and apply a long rest to everybody.
So I just want to.
That's not what I meant.
That in. That when they
Turn
do
loop.
When they do set up camp for that night, regular sort of watch sort of thing, Echo goes over to Kretha at some point and says in Goblin, I meant what I said before. You don't have to go home if you don't want to.
I say in Goblin back, I know that.
Even if it's to save cute, weird lizards, you don't have to go home if you don't want to.
I don't know whether I would take them back that far. There are other areas that are in the range, but not in the range. But I don't know what I can do now. It's more complicated than I thought.
And then Echo will just like make sure his bedroll is near Kretha's.
Its name means fused lizard because of all of the bone segments on its back essentially being one giant piece of its skeleton.
Calder
Yeah.
says
Oh my
while
gosh,
everyone else is
Calder,
trying
go
to
to
sleep.
I love it. Echo
So
won't stop calling them lizards. Like, no matter how many times Calder explains that it's a dinosaur, Echo won't stop calling them lizards.
That's the thing. You're correct. It is a lizard. It's just a giant lizard. That's what Saurus means.
Kretha is literally like not getting off of Stinky anymore.